Now, Shedeur Sanders, I think many would believe, is going to be said first overall pick. We all know that it has been clear that him and his father, DeLeone Sanders, are going to try to control the decision on where he lands. So it kind of doesn't truly matter who is the first or the second overall pick, because he ultimately could make that decision and just say to a team, don't draft me, take Cam Ward, which is still a great option to go to if he makes that statement. A lot of people are speculating with the way that he keeps tweeting after these Raider losses that he wants to be a Raider. Coincidentally, the Giants keep losing at the same time every single week, so nobody can tell which team it is. But that begs the question. If I'm Shedeur Sanders, which team do you want to play for? I still stand by removing my bias and still keeping it in there a little bit. I think that the Giants are his best situation. I think that defensively, they have an elite roster on their defensive side of the football. It just has been on the field so freaking much that they're gassed and they're now banged up. Offensively, their offensive line has been improving and just needs like one more sure piece on that O-line to get better. The young receiving core is tremendous. The Raiders don't freaking have that. And lastly, you're in the mecca of attention. If you succeed in New York, you are going to be the most talked about. You're already the most talked about prospect in this class, but you will be the most talked about quarterback in the NFL next to Patrick Mahomes.
This is the hardest question that has been posed on this show to date, as the Giants are maybe the most cursed, dysfunctional franchise in the NFL. An argument could be made to say they've been the worst team over the last 5 years, given expectations and player and roster management. They have Malik Neighbors. That's great. That is a guy that if I was coming out of college, I would want to throw to. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I don't see many other players that I'm saying you need to stay on the island. You are somebody that is a necessity for us. Flip side, Raiders. They got one guy also, maybe two. Brock Bowers, I'd like to throw that guy if I'm coming out of college. Maybe Jacoby Myers stays on the island. Here's why the Giants may get the edge. And this is a disgusting thought to think that the Giants and Shedeur Sanders would work out. He should pass on both these teams. But the Raiders are not, and it's mostly Vegas is the reason. I don't think it's going to be a good scene for Shedeur Sanders coming in, because the Raiders don't have a home field advantage every single week.
Nope.
You never have a home crowd. You're constantly having other teams storm in, and you're just never going to play with a home field advantage, which I think helps young quarterbacks tremendously. Additionally, let's just break it down from a broad sense. Young quarterback, so much money dropped in Vegas. There's a reason that teams and franchises were so opposed to moving to Vegas for so long, because naturally you understand the beast that is Las Vegas. It's clubs, it's money, it's going out. Do I think that DeLeone Sanders is constantly preaching responsibility and security to Shedeur Sanders? Yes, I do. But I also remember what it was like to be 21, 22 with no money and what I was doing. God forbid somebody handed me $10 million. I'd be in a ditch, bloated, getting pulled out by a forklift. Yeah,
he's got a little bit more on the line than
I know he does. I know.
He'd be responsible.
I would hope he would. But it's just, I don't like the thought of the movie that's going on in my head where it just doesn't work out. Vegas kills another young quarterback. It's just a brutal sense where the Giants, at least in the 2000s, they had one guy that could play quarterback pretty well in Eli. That was pretty good. He was pretty good for them. Other than that, total joke, disaster. But I think maybe New York is a safer option than Vegas, because the Giants have fans and they do. Maybe they'd be willing to get a new coach. The Raiders seem lockstep in their stubborn ways and just constantly getting invaded by other teams' fans.